Hey, good morning, and how are you guys doing today? I hope amazing. So today we're gonna be writing a book, or at least starting the writing process on said book. And so the idea today is to do a lot of the development on the brainstorming, the overall development of the world. Um, it's gonna be a little bit casual, just to be honest. I'm gonna get chat up. Actually, I'm gonna grab my coffee from the counter that I forgot to grab. I hope you all are having an amazing, amazing morning. Um, Mine's going pretty good, and so I, of course, have no complaints. Have chat up in 1 second. We'll get on with this. So, overall, I'm going to let you guys know we're going to be writing a sci-fi. I'll put down the genre, all the other info you guys will be wanting to know. Basically, we'll start right now. So, the book, which we do not have a title, will be a dark sci-fi. Not going to be so dark that, hey, it's not appropriate, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to see if we can zoom in here. Actually, I'm not sure how we do that. Yeah, well, we won't do that. I'm going to make this bigger writing. Just feel you guys can't actually see what's going on there. So we'll put everything in large writing. Dark sci-fi. Of course, there's no boom. I did mean sci-fi like that. Um, So they're like, we'll deal with that. Oh, I see why. Hold on. So here's how we're basically going to do this. We're not attempting to overcomplicate this. I've already informed my viewers on previous streams that we're aiming for a very broad area, right? Somewhere between Sharknado and Shakespeare, anywhere within that zone, I'm okay with. We're going to try to make it as good as possible within that zone, but let's just be honest, we're within that zone. We're wanting to keep this from 12 to maybe 16 chapters. And in all honesty, I don't want the chapters being very long. I want them to be more like 8 to basically 10 pages per chapter. Maybe let's say 6 to 10 page, 6 through 10 page. Okay, so that's to start off. We're setting some ground rules. Oh man, I just woke up. It's 5 in the morning, guys. So let's. Okay, so boom, we're 6 to 10 page chapters, 12 to 16 chapters per book. This is going to be the first book in this series. I'm going to let you know um, the story arc on the most basic level is going to be a very, very old story arc. Oh, I'm not awake, so a lot of what we're doing is just a mess right now. Um, the story arc is one of the older ones. Something bad happens or happened. Man retreats into basically the cave, right? It's not really going to be the cave. But basically, we're going to use a whole different mechanism of retreating into some, you know, uh, principle of safety. In our case, because it's a sci-fi and stuff like that, we're going to use magic and technology. Let's just be honest. Let's add fantasy to this because we are going to have uh, magic in it. Jeez. Oh, I see what's wrong. I legit told you guys I'm not awake yet. I'm gonna get some coffee in me. So the this is the large story arc and large basic story arc. So we'll call it that. Something bad happened. Man retreated into safety. This is literally going to be more or less the emergence story. Man returns out into the open to explore the dark forest and unknown. Okay, so that's an old, hey, that story's been around. Boom, they're telling me to change the tense. Good for them. Good job, Untitled. So, right off the bat, I'm going to also want to put in some other stuff for you guys, just so you guys know. Resources that we can use or that you guys can use if you're wanting to write. I'm going to hook you guys up with them. I don't know why they're already correcting me on that, but whatever, probably. I would tell you that Quinn's Ideas, this guy has a great channel. He reviews books. He discusses character creation. Also, Electric Dust, good morning. I hope you're doing great. This is going to be pretty fun and it should go pretty fast. He reviews mostly sci fi and on a pretty deep level of the characters, the story behind the story, the overarching stuff. I've listened to a good amount of his stuff. I actually think he has some great stuff. Elements that we will be using. I don't know if you guys know about the Neuromancer. I forgot the N in there. The Neuromancer is one of the original sci-fis. It was written in, I think, 1980 something. It literally is the foundation for the cyberspace, for cybernetic augmentation, and for a huge amount of other things, right? It's the basis that actually created a huge flood of the sci-fi genre. And so we're not going to take things directly out of there necessarily, but let's just be honest because we're having cybernetics and we're having the ability to jack into a matrix system and stuff like that. Like, I'd rather let you guys know where the origin of that genre of story is. The Neuromancer is the origin for that. It's absolutely a dystopia type story. And, oh, no. And so this is going to be my first nonfiction type thing I've ever written, guys. I've wrote academic papers before. I'm going to let you guys know. I did do a thorough amount of research before deciding that we were going to go down this route. I actually have wanted to write a fiction type book for a while anyway. So I've studied writers and their writing formulas. I've listened to a good amount of actual like writers explaining what they do and stuff. Here, let's grab this. I'm going to drop this link. I'll also drop this link into my YouTube channel later on so that anybody that wants any of these links is also capable of just grabbing them anytime they want. The other resource we're going to be using a lot of what I've found valuable is this is called Tell Foundry. Tell Foundry itself is actually an amazing resource. It covers how to cover certain subject matter within a book. Um, like everything. They have videos on world building, genres of topic, like anything you can imagine from like fantasy, horror, stuff like that. One of the ones I found super handy, and let me see if I can find it real quick. Obviously, you guys see how they have topics of books, characters, systems of magic within books, but why type stuff. The one that I thought was really good is How to Write the Impossible. It literally is fascinating because once you're saying something is indescribable, you're already admitting you're not going to be able to describe it. But then you need to have some kind of description, right? Because you're trying to describe the indescribable. So, how do you convey the indescribable? I'm going to let you know this little How to Write the Impossible I found to be a super good breakdown on it. This is also good. I listened to this one on my phone, fortunately. Um, but basically, this guy covers a vast amount of just if you're stuck somewhere in a book or you're stuck on something, I'm going to tell you these two resources are absolutely really like just super valuable, honestly, as resources. And so I felt that since I'm going to be using a lot of what I was able to glean by their channels, it would be unfair for me not to share this with you guys because I feel that it's going to make everything that much easier for me. It would make it that much easier for you on top of that. Hey, good morning, Nyerson. I hope you're having a great day also. So, right off the bat, here's what we have. The book will be a dark sci fi fantasy. Oh, I forgot to actually put these resources down here. Boom, Tell Foundry. Then we got Quinn's Ideas. I would consider both of these guys super pleasant, by the way. I mean, I don't know him in personal life in the real world, but I'm going to let you guys know that I considered listening to their work as a super pleasant thing. Okay, so next we've got factions. The factions, of course, are the humans, and these we're going to have multiple human factions, right? So these aren't going to be like humans as just basic. We are having elves. Our elves are going to be darker. And we'll put some stuff under that to where like you guys have a greater idea. And then of course we're going to have the myriad of races. And the myriad of races, of course, has a beef or had a beef. Let's move that down to its own page. What we're going to be doing is this will be occurring in space. In a reality that's post-apocalyptic. Okay, right? So you guys are seeing where this is going. Huge catastrophe. Okay, so we're going to be taking place in space in a reality that is post apocalyptic, caused by a massive war and the emergence of cosmic. Good morning, Vildel Duck. By the way, in Entropia, I did land on Monaria last night, just so you know. Uh, where it's going to happen in space in a reality that's post-apocalyptic, caused by a massive war and the emergence of cosmic interdimensional space horrors. Well, we'll just call it horrors right now. Okay. Boom. Autocorrect is saving me today. They're being super nice. Okay. So that's the basis of what we've got right this second. So let's fill this out more, right? Magic and psionics. Now, trying to remember how to spell psionics. Well, we'll ask Google how to spell psionics. No, 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 nope. They don't know about it. Oh, here it is. Psionics. I'm missing the S. We'll copy paste that baby right there. I don't use the word psionics that much, so you know what I'm saying? It's one of those words that I don't throw around a lot. Okay, woo! Definitely gonna have to adjust that to whatever we're at. Boom, boom. We'll just make all this the same. I feel this is bolded. Take that baby off. Let's find out what this is at. 22. And we'll just make this stuff black, black, because we like black. Boom. I did let you guys know it was morning, right? Okay, let's back up because obviously because we have no sound, it's gonna keep doing stuff at me. Just so you guys know. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, we're good. I'm gonna leave it the way it is because I don't want to mess with it too much. Because okay, so now we've got different types of magic, of course. The elves are going to be dominant in the magic. We'll do the space horrors. I'll explain what happened with the space horrors. We're going to have to make that kind of stuff up a little bit. The humans dominate the psionics. By the way, psionics, you guys, if you're not sure what that is, psionics, not psychics. Of course. I did mean psionics. Thank you guys. That is what I meant. We'll fix all this stuff. Let me make sure that this is the correct word. We always use this a whole bunch, you guys. Yeah, psionics. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Psionics is a term in 1950s. Psychic phenomenon. Okay, yes, that's what we're trying to say. Just so you guys know, we'll go like this. We'll go like this. Boom. Humans, they have domination of psionics. Psionics is everything for telekinesis, pyrokinetics, metaphysics, like of various types in which you're able to control things through just mental powers. Not all humans are going to have this, but some will. Okay, etc. Blah blah. Of course, that's the humans. Humans are also genetically modified, and humans also use cybernetics. So humans are just a huge amalgamation of stuff. We're going to have multiple factions of humans. We'll just go human factions. I haven't made up the human factions yet, so we'll come back to that, right? We'll put that down a little bit. We'll come down here. Yeah. We'll grab all this stuff and we'll drop that under the humans. Didn't realize we got all weird on it real quick. Hold on. I did tell you I'm still waking up, right? So it is what it is. Oh, yeah, no, I'm not attempting to read anybody's mind, but I'm gonna tell you what, we're gonna have this done. Boom. These are our factions. Make sure I actually copy pasted that because right now, obviously, I'm a little discombobulated. We know this is out of there. Boom, 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 boom. We can now get rid of a whole bunch of this empty space. Okay, magic, cybernetics, and psionics, right? Okay. Factions, humans, blah, blah, blah. We're going to actually end up with multiple human groups. Um, we'll call it something better later on, but basically, oh, yeah. Oh, remote viewing and stuff is fascinating. Do you know what's even crazier than remote viewing? Is remote perpetration. So remote perpetration is the ability to influence an electronic device, basically almost akin to remote viewing, and tamper with it. Um, I'm not going to say who has documents on that, but the government. I'm just joking, but not. I'm serious about that. But we won't get into that stuff right now. But we will probably actually use remote perpetration or mechanomancy or whatever, a technology penetrating psionic abilities at some point. Let's put that in. Technomancy. I'm not sure if technomancy is already termed as a word. If we've just termed that ourselves, it didn't. Hey, you made up a word there, though. So let's assume that that's actually already a word. That's a good thing. Good. So our humans, boom. Told you my dyslexia does catch me sometimes. Our humans use a variety of stuff, obviously, right? In which that's always an interesting thing. Confederation of Human Worlds. We're going to have 3 large corporations, and these are multi-planet space corporations. Okay, boom. That sounds good. Leon, I hope you're having a great day. Everybody, you know what? I find that stuff fascinating. So, are you currently reading about the Gateway Project stuff then? Is that what you're doing? You can read all the Gateway Project files, you guys. They're public record. It's very fascinating stuff. I've read a lot of the Gateway Project stuff, just so you guys know. It's actually fascinating stuff. I'm okay with it, but I mean, as reading stuff, I'm not gonna say what my opinion is either way because I'm not sure. I'm not gonna say I'm agnostic. I'm just not gonna get into it a lot, to be honest. Okay, so our elves, we're gonna have more than this too. I just haven't figured out our other faction in here. Um, in which we'll just call that faction X because we don't actually know what to call it, right? That that's about the best way to say it, right? Okay, so there we're gonna have four kingdoms. Three of them are still gonna exist. Uh, Maybe I'm saying Elven wrong. Is it Elvan? Guys, I don't write a lot of elf stuff. Elvin? Okay, well, we'll just write four kingdoms that belong to the elves. And I haven't decided what we're going to call what happened yet. We'll get into what did happen. Yeah, no, it's entertaining. I'm going to let you know. When I was reading a lot of it, I thought to myself, yeah, it's very fascinating conceptually. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to underline these so that we can find them later easier, just to be honest. Boom, boom, boom. The myriad of races. The myriad of races, we're gonna be allowed to put as much crap as we want into that because it's gonna be just this huge amount of the sum total of everybody else. And we'll probably put some kind of once great type forerunner type thing. So the the basic write up of this book is not like a new story. It's really the ancient story of man emerges from the cave, man explores into the dark, intrepid woods of the unknown after a great cataclysmic event, right? So that's the basic concept that's at the root of what we're writing, okay? So, a lot of it is very easy. We're not trying to make these big books. I'm even going to let you guys know we've already established it's not going to be a 200 page. It'll probably come in right under that. So, in all honesty, we should be able to pump this out pretty easy. Um, Not hugely easy, but you know what I'm saying? Pretty easy. But it is what it is. It'll develop. It'll be a unique story by the end. But I'm letting you guys know that conceptually, what we're doing is something that has been done for 1,000 years, 2,000, maybe even 8,000. In fact, 9,000 years ago, people were writing about the once great, disaster and how man emerged. If you read Hopi literature, it's very fascinating. It's a man emerging from the cave story. I mean, Hopi Indians. I'm very fascinated at Native American folklore. I think it's a great thing. We're going to add elements, just so you guys know. Elements. And okay, so we're going to have elements of Native American and Romanian folklore in there. Good morning, Fire Debug. I hope you're also having a great day. So we're getting our stuff written up real quick. Not not going to be too complicated. I think you guys see how easy we're simplifying this. The four kingdoms used to belong to the elves. Our elves are horrible people. Okay? Our elves um, hate cybernetics. Okay, so our elves believe that basically the genetically modified humans and the cybernetics are abominations. They don't like it, they hate it. The elves, of course, are going to be supremacists. I know, right? Making them all nice. Uh, so our, well, let's not say mastery. Let's leave it as mastery. But we'll narrow that in later. We might have to adjust our complete mastery concept because complete mastery indicates a little bit further than we're gonna go. Um, oh, I did say almost. I'm okay with that. Hey, Vanillic, I hope you're having a great day. Okay, so let's look at what we've got so far because we're pumping out some stuff here. Book will be dark fantasy sci-fi. Resources up there. Chapters will be 12 to 16 chapters, 6 to 10 pages per chapter is what we're targeting. We're not. Oh, yeah, we're writing a book right now. Boom. This is the story thingy majiggy where we're brainstorming. I got coffee. It's starting to kick in. We're 30 minutes into this. We've got 2 pages, 3 pages almost of brainstormy crap. It's at 22, so let's just be honest. We're really at about a page and a half in actual stuff. Just oh, we are. We're gonna have zombies. So the elves used zombies. They have mastery because they're gonna have necromancy. But the humans, mm, space dragons. Here's the other thing, right? So we're probably gonna have some kind of dragon. We're also gonna have, just so you guys know, oh, the myriad of races, that's going to be fascinating. We'll put this down here. We'll go down here, right? Let's think of what we're going to call it. Well, what are we going to call this? Okay, so we've got our horrors. Our horrors are multi-dimensional space horrors that came during the climax of the Great War, in which we'll get into the made-up reason of why they came, but basically it's going to be everybody's fault. Everybody's fault. Every different faction is going to totally blame the other faction. They believe that it was the other people. The elves believe. Okay, let's write that down. The elves Hold on. Misuse of magic. Okay. Yeah, well, why have a normal dragon, right? And I already figured. I'm glad you asked about dragons because I hadn't even thought about dragons. But why not have the dragons were once. We'll get into this. The creation of abominations through genetic. Okay, so here's how we got it. Oh, so we'll have in the myriad of races we can put all kinds of crap. That's actually one of the greatest things about the myriad of races is that the myriad of races we're going to just define as right off the bat over what do we want to say? We have a whole galaxy, right? Oh, let's get rid of that underline thing. We have a whole galaxy. So the myriad of races contains, I don't even know, a random amount, guys. Let's do some random amounting. I don't even know how many races, but a bunch. We could just say an unknown or countless amount of species, but that's too much. So let's think. We'll just state over. Oh, here's what we're going to do. Over 80 known species. Okay. So we have over 80 known species that were contained in the myriad of races. The myriad of races is the other faction outside of our humans and our elves. Creatures outside of our main races and our space horse are going to be, right? And I know this is going to sound funny. I'm not even sure we'll use all this stuff. We're going to define that one danger is space trolls. Yeah, that's right. Space trolls. They're not going to be intelligent, but they're going to be dangerous. Once we'll figure. I haven't made up how that exactly plays out, but I think we all follow space trolls. Nobody wants a space troll on their ship. Obviously, that thing will kill somebody. Somebody must die by a space troll. We're going to define that right now. Someone will die. See, we've already wrote something into our book. We know a space troll will kill somebody. Right off the bat, we don't even know who that is. We haven't written any further than that. The myriad of races. Once, oh crap, they're trying to trick me into underlining. Once was led. Oh, this is a good point. Let's add some Viking stuff in there. Let's go back up to the humans. We've got faction X, right? Oh, you know what? Let's leave faction X unknown still. We've got our Confederation of Human Worlds, three large multi-planet space corporations. Faction X, but we're gonna have we'll have to make up a name for the faction, but Okay, we've got a space Viking faction that uses rune magic. Boom. Got you guys. I like that. I like a space faction that uses rune magic. So we'll probably put out more than one book because, in all honesty, 100 and 200 page book, we'll only get to kind of touch on parts of this. Little bits of the book are going to cover these details anyway, so we're actually getting to write. I mean, like, we're writing the book right now because we know that we're going to have to integrate these details in here. Hey, Star Trancer, I hope you're having a great day also, by the way. And so as soon as we've got Space Vikings with runes, we've got Faction X that I haven't made up some crap on. The humans use a lot of stuff, genetic modifications, cybernetics. We've already covered that. Oh yeah, there it is, guys. I was wondering where it was. Boom, boom. Got like that, like that. Our elves are absolutely jerks. Obviously, they hate everything that's cybernetic, consider genetic modifications to the humans to be abominations, right? So we like that. They have complete mastery of magic, almost complete. Let's keep them. You know what? No, we won't go. I won't overly develop that right now. We'll circle back. The circle back's the most powerful thing you can ever learn. Once led by ancient space dragons who are believed to be extinct. Okay, so we like the idea that people believe them to be extinct. Boom. I'm glad that they corrected me on that. Boom, boom. Got that. Got that. I should be bullet pointing almost, just to be honest, guys. Hold on one second. I'm going to drink a little bit more coffee. And then we'll go over what we got. What we have, you guys. I apologize. Also, I'm waiting for you guys to get out of your commercial stuff. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Since we're still storming. The book is dark sci-fi fantasy, or fantasy sci-fi. Large, basic story arc. Something bad once happened. Boom. Something bad once happened. Man retreated. We already know what happened bad, you guys. Just so you know, I'm gonna write what happened bad in a second. Retreated into safety. Man returns out into the open to explore the dark forest, which is space. And the unknown. In space, oh, is space in reality? Oh, I don't know what the crap. Good thing we're going back through this. Space in reality. Post-apocalyptic, caused by a massive war and the emergence of cosmic interdimensional horrors. So our cosmic interdimensional horrors are gonna be what killed most of the dragons, right? Let's do that. Where's our thing? Myriad of races. So some of the dragons fell during the Great Space War, but most. Okay. Okay, so once led by ancient space dragons who were believed to be extinct, though some of the dragons fell during the Great Space War, but most were hunted down and consumed for their power by the cosmic horrors. So that's pretty easy. We've got that. Let's think of some of these races that we know that we want in here. Hold on one second. We know we're going to have zombies. We know we're going to have space trolls. We're going to have zombies. Okay, so what's going on is the zombies were created to reduce the human population. And we're going to be able to justify that pretty easy. We'll just say that the elves don't breed as fast as the zombies. Yeah. Well, we're just aiming between those two goalposts. We don't need Shakespeare, but we could have some kind of shark kill somebody at some point. I'm gonna just be okay. So you got it, bro. Here's what happens. You just got a species of shark. Oh, we could have mutated. So this, let's go back up here to the humans, right? Because we've got genetically modified. Okay, so we've got multiple species of human animal hybrids in the human groups. Does that work? Everybody like that? Is that crazy enough? We got also a shark race down here in the myriad of species. I like the idea of a myriad of species. I like sharkmen. I also like the idea that we can add in any book. We can have a cat person, a dog dude, or whatever we feel like, and we're not violating any of our stuff because we already said that we have genetic modifications, including multiple species of human animal hybrids. Which, honestly, since we already established the elves hate all of that stuff and consider it an abomination, we know that anytime we're writing in those, the elves themselves are going to be racists towards that. The elves, mm, how do we say it? Breeding at? Okay, so the elves decided, boom, controlled. Obviously, word threat, boom. Our spell check is dominating this morning. The elves, once they realized the rate the humans were breeding, decided that they were a threat and needed to be controlled and their populations reduced. Right? That's why they developed the zombies. And they're also going to pick the fight with the myriad and basically. So this is what our faction X is. Faction X. Okay, so we've got one faction that literally was controlled and loyal to the elves. And so they're going to we're going to make them forsake. Okay, we're going to also say that these people, they forsake all cybernetics, they forsake all genetic modifications, and they are complete religious. Okay, so we're going to have that they are just crazy religious fanatics that literally pretty much worship the elves, stuff like that, blah, 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 right? So we've got the Confederation of Human Worlds. Let's make up how many worlds are in that. What are we guys thinking? We're thinking about let's say that they owned about let's pick a number. Let's do a 20-sided dice on this. Let's find out how many systems these guys controlled, right? This is why we have dice, guys, so we can randomly decide stuff that we didn't want to make up numbers. So I won't control most of how this book turns out because we're going to random a bunch of stuff. Got to find a 20-sided dice here. Got my dice bag, guys. This is a dice bag. Super handy to have. It's leather, though, and so I'm going to let you guys know the dice don't just fall out as easy as you'd think. Getting every dice that we could get except a 20-sided. Just trying to get a 20-sided dice here. That's a 12-sided dice. You know what? Let's just do a 10-sided and a 12-sided dice. We'll find out what's up. Well, the Confederation of Human Worlds only controlled 6 systems. Okay, boom. Now, that held. You see? Gotta watch that. Okay, the large multi-planetary corporations. This is before the World War, so we don't know how many. Oh, I could roll multiple. Ah, boom. Multi-planetary corporations, we're giving them 17 systems. Okay. Space Viking faction. We're giving them 7 systems. Boom. I agree with that thing. Boom, boom. And let's see, faction X. They didn't control crop. They're religious fanatics. Let's give them, let's give them 2, or well, you know what? I'm not really sure. So basically, 9. They held 9 systems. Okay. Everybody feels that's a lot of systems, right? We've got crap loads of stuff. I'm going to click this down here. Go boom, boom. I don't know why I think we have to have boom, boom on all this, but yeah, I think that looks good. So we know that most of these systems are going to be just emptied, right? Everything got slaughtered pretty much. So the amount of actual systems that all these factions control is vastly less because most of them got wiped out, right? Um, elves. We've got four kingdoms. We'll write up the elven kingdoms, but we're not going to do it this second. In all honesty, we'll get right back to them. Obviously, we've got some ground rules on the humans and some other stuff. I'm going to get back to the elves in a second. I'd like to deal with this myriad of races for a second. Let's make up what the crap was going on with this. The myriad of races. Okay, so they held a large number of systems within the main galaxy, plus a large amount. Hmm. So large number of planets in the outer rims of dark space, and let's go. Okay, so they're actually a multi-galactic species. Boom, boom, boom. Held a large number of systems within the main galaxy, plus a large number of planets in the outer rim of dark space. I'm not really sure if they're considered a planet necessarily if they don't circle a sun. So we'll have to look into that kind of. So we know some of the myriad of races um, are space native born, like actually can live in. So let's put that. What do we want to make up a species right now, guys? Um, well, let's make up the species. Well, we know that says it's wrong because we just made up that word. It's not a real thing. Treadrans are a species of long ago. Okay, Trinidans are a species of the myriad that have long ago evolved to survive Okay, so let's think of what we're saying that these guys can do. Hey, how are you doing, Chill Vibe? I hope you're having a great day. So the Tradrans, Tradrans, I don't know how I'm gonna say that. We just made up this race, so I'm not really sure. Maybe we put a hyphen in here so it looks more spacey. Tradrans. I don't know if that's more spacey. We'll leave it like that for a second. We'll figure out if we're gonna mess with that name later on. This is a placeholder name for right now. We might actually write placeholder name 1, placeholder name 2. In fact, hold on. That's true. We do need a. So are we going to have the Minotaurs be human genetically modified, or do we want an actual Minotaur race? This is a good question. I'm doing freaking epic this morning. I mean, I'm slowly waking up. Spell grammar check is doing its job like a beast. I'm going to just let you guys know that. I have no complaints on how well that's doing. Placeholder 1, because we're not going to introduce all 80 species of the myriad, especially since we're keeping all of these books under 200 pages. I'm also going to let you guys know here's what we're doing. Boom, boom, boom. Price point, because we're going to pump this out on Nook. The price point, honestly, I'm gonna probably. I don't know the rules for Nook yet, guys. I haven't looked into that. I think we're gonna go with each download being a buck 99, $2. I don't really, I don't really care about like, hey, I'd rather have a bunch of people read it. We're making this simple so that we can actually just put out more and more books in this universe or galaxy. And that's why it's important to do the world building first. And so I would rather this be cheap so that more people can actually read, experience the universe. And we're not making these books like 400 pages. These books are going to be like maybe 200 pages. They're going to be based on adventures within this system of the universe. You know what? Here's what I'm saying. The space Vikings right here that use rune magic. Watch this. Don't you guys feel that the Minotaur species should go with our space Vikings? Boom. So now we've got genetically modified Minotaurs that are part of the Space Viking faction. That easy. We just see how fun it is to just make up some stuff? Boom. Okay. So we'll get back to the elves. The elves are complete psychopaths. We already established elves are not going to be nice. I'm just going to let you know the elves will murder several key characters that we will just create that were likable so that we can hate the elves more. I don't know. That's what we're doing. The elves are actually going to be responsible for almost all the badness, in all honesty. Placeholder 1, placeholder 2. We don't know what to call these guys, but let's just be honest. Oh, capable of. What are we going to call it? Spatial phasing? Are we going to call teleportation? Oh, Watch this. Okay. So that species is capable, it's a space species. They're capable of dimensional phasing and traveling great distances through teleportation. I honestly, placeholder 1 and 2, we'll have to make some stuff up for that later on. We've got zombies that were created by the elves to help reduce the human population. That's normal. We've got space trolls. The space trolls are going to be super powerful, super vicious, because I want space trolls to actually be vicious and powerful. Okay, I like that. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, now we go down here. We start writing some crap where we make up what happened. During the Great War, the humans did we make up a name for our human faction that's loyal to the elves? We just called them X, huh? We're gonna have to make up a religion for them. I mean, not this second, obviously. But we've got, during the Great War, the humans were slowly drawn in. Great War. Boom, boom. We'll make that the Great War. And we'll call it something else so it's not just another book with the Great War. We'll call it the War of something or something like that. Um, it's gonna be the war that basically destroyed most of everything, to be honest. The humans were slowly drawn into the conflict. Let's call it the conflict. By the elves through manipulation and the use of the loyal human fanatics. Okay. Boom. And humans. I agree. Boom. So, during the climax, okay, so during the climax, the pitch of death, the use of magic, we'll copy that, and utter destruction. Okay, during the climax of the war, the pitch of death and use of magic and utter destruction had brought attention to our dimension from long Forgotten Plains. Okay. Boom, boom. Forgotten. Got it. Existence. Got it. Boom, boom. Okay. So basically, it really is everybody's fault, right? Okay, so what are we going to say rips the hole in the fabric of this dimension, allowing these creatures to come through? Is it somebody used a weapon that was so powerful that it finally damaged the fabric of the galaxy or the dimension so much? Or did these creatures finally just like, were they chomping at the bit so much that they finally just ripped through? What are we thinking? This is the hard choice. What do we think happened? So we'll skip past what happened for a second, and we'll circle back. We're doing the circle back, you guys. Don't worry. Circle back's happening a lot in this. Now, guys, we know that we're actually going to be using this stuff in the book anyway, so we're kind of getting some of the book done right here. Boom, just like that. So we've got space trolls. We definitely did we decide that a troll kills somebody? Oh yeah, somebody will die from a space troll. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be horrific. We gotta make that horrific. I don't even know how horrific, but boom, it's gonna be bad. During the climax of the war, the pitch of death and use of magics. I'm really. Well, I'm gonna figure that out in a second. Honestly, I'll be able to think about it as we're writing up this. Okay, so we're gonna circle back to what exactly ripped the fabric. Okay, so we know that the dragons are the only thing that knew about these creatures, right? On the other side of this dimensional barrier that happens. Does this make sense? So we're gonna have it that the myriad kind of has an idea what happened because they were controlled and led by the dragons. And so they understand that all of the culmination of this great space war is what brought these creatures here. The use of magic, the death, the destruction, that everything brought it all together. I haven't made up what exactly ripped um, the thing, but oh, boom. But we will make up a what ripped the fabric of the galaxy. I mean, like that's a later. Okay. Some. And we'll write because we don't know if they just forced their way in yet, and we don't know if I'm torn between somebody uses a weapon that just is so destructive that it rips the fabric of space, time itself, and allows them to be in. Um, I'm pretty sure the dragons have faced them before because I'm going to say that up here. Okay, so only the dragons. I don't know what the Oh, I get what you're saying. Like, are you meaning the Watchers like out of Apocrypha type stuff? Oh, I didn't play Runeterra, so I don't know enough about that. I wasn't sure because when you say the Watchers, there's a lot of ancient texts and stuff like that that also includes that kind of stuff. So you know, our world and our mythoses from ancient times are very complicated, you guys. Very complicated. If you read a lot of Assyrian or Anunnaki stuff or Hopi stuff or Babylonian stuff or basically anything super ancient, there's some crazy crazy stuff in there. Just going to point that out. But Apocryph text has watchers and stuff like that in it. I like ancient stuff. I like ancient stuff. Big fan of it. Okay, so we've got climax when the first horrors arrived. So here's the deal. Our horrors are freaking godly. Okay, so they feasting. Okay, so they're going to be consuming power. They're just like power eaters, right? Boom. I'm going to tell you, I don't know if Google improved their spell grammar check stuff, but it's like boom, boom, boom today, right? At first, okay, so these things are going to bring death, destruction, torment. They're horrible creatures, right? Um, we're going to say that most worlds fell to them. We'll make sure to say cruel gods. Okay, so world after world fell to their power, some being wiped out completely. Boom, fix that. Others, others populations were simply enslaved and forced to worship them as cruel gods who fed on pain and the life force of those they put underfoot. So we're going to have some of them that are like more intelligently, and some of these are not. Ah, boom. I'm glad spell check's on it today. Okay, so the differences between the horrors were immense, with some of these creatures being almost mindless and totally controlled by their primitive drive for destruction. Okay, differences, creatures. Oh, boom, that fixed it. So what do we got? We're at page 8. Holy crap, guys. You see how fast this is? So we're coming up with our rules and our basic stuff for this universe. Um, and boom, we're at 8 pages already. You see how fast this is going? Do you guys feel that this is rolling like boom, right? I do too. I'm gonna drink some more coffee real quick. Okay, so what else do we got going on? Okay, so boom, boom. The dragons, who had long known about the horrors, warned their followers in the myriad of the dangers and tried to confront and stop the spread of destruction, but they were defeated. Okay, so we're going to go with the most powerful of the known horrors, right? Because we're leaving the option to put more stuff in. So most of what we're going to reference is just known. And the reason why is because we don't want to actually like box ourselves in later. The most powerful of the horrors had came to feed on. Wait, the most powerful of the known horrors had came to feed on the power that had been unleashed during the Great War. Had come to feed when the dragons gathered their armies and massed to defeat the horrors. Do we want to call? We'll say it. Okay, boom. So this one, hey, thank you very much for lurking. I hope you're having a great day. So the most powerful of the known horrors had come to feed on the power. We'll reword that. I don't like that at all. Watch this. Exalted of the known horrors had came to feed on the power that had been unleashed during the Great War. When the dragons gathered their armies and massed to defeat the horrors, it came through, seeking to feed on the dragons to add their power to its own. Right? We know that quickly Okay, so we know that he comes through, hunts down, destroyed or captured most of the dragons, wiped out most of the myriad worlds. Boom. So we're right off the bat saying that most of the myriad it doesn't survive this. What are we gonna say? Rights. Okay. So we got the few remaining fled using ancient rights and fled, comma, and used ancient rites and rituals to create a barrier to hide themselves away, protecting what was left. So, boom, that concludes what. Whoa, my thing popped up. It's always popping. I have a pop-up thing that pops up at me all the time. Yeah, you guys see it now. That's letting me know stuff. I don't find it that useful. It's just obnoxious, honestly, most of the time. What do we have so far? Okay, so we've got the Myriad story, right? Their dragons saved them. They're hidden away. We haven't defined how long people had to hide away. I'm going to let you know everybody else. Oh, I have a notebook, guys. I have a freaking notebook, and trust me, anytime I have a new idea, we're going to throw it in there. And then, literally, we're going to knock this book out fast. You guys can already see how fast it's going to happen, right? Because we've already got that much already, like, boom. Okay, so what we're going to do now, let's go back to these jerk elves, right? Um, where are our elves? Elves. What happened with you guys? Four kingdoms that belong to the elves, three survive. So we know that we're wiping one of the kingdoms out right off the bat, right? Yeah. Hold on. That's boom, 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 boom. Elves. Okay. So now let's write what happens with the elves. How are they going to survive it? Well, obviously we didn't give them technology, and so they're kind of not going to have technology. So in all honesty, here's what's going to happen. Um, losing many. Annihilation. Well, spell check will fix it. Spell check's like, no, that was so bad I'm not. Well, I would like some suggestions. Is it NH? Well, they'll tell us in a second. Boom, annihilation. I'm not putting enough things, and I was using no eyes. Okay, so I'm not gonna win the spelling bee. So we're just claiming right off the bat. I'm gonna get one of those mics that doesn't flip off every little bit. So if my earphones don't have sound coming in on them, after so many minutes, it just decides I'm not doing anything, even though I'm talking, and it just flips off. Really frustrating, but at least I noticed it now because you guys pointed it out before. When the elves realized what had arrived, they at first tried to fight back, losing many of their systems to total annihilation. Okay, so okay, so one of the elven, and we'll make up what its name is in later on. We're gonna pretend some stuff on them to where they were like okay, but basically, and we'll leaving. Okay, so there's a whole elven kingdom that was annihilated. So we've got ancient ruins. Obviously we got lots of ruins, right? We got the whole myriad. We got blah blah blah. Probably should throw that under the myriad real quick, but we'll deal with that later. I'll organize this later better. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, there's gonna have to be some organizing. Let's be honest. Let's start breaking down our four kingdoms. This is going to be. Let's put placeholder. Okay, placeholder elf 2, because I don't have kingdom names yet. Okay. I'll just go down here and steal the word from down here. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. So many of their world. Okay, so placeholder Elf 2. This kingdom quickly realized after watching the destruction of the myriad, and placeholder Elf 1, that the fight could not be won. So they used magic to hide as many worlds. Okay. As many worlds as they could, though most of the worlds were lost to annihilation. Okay, so here's what happened. This is going to sound horrible, so boom, boom. Okay, so we got a betrayer, right? You got to have a betrayer. Everybody agrees there has to be betrayal. Okay, placeholder Elf Kingdom 2. This kingdom quickly realized after watching the destruction of the myriad and placeholder Elf Group 1 that the fight could not be won. So they used magical barriers to hide away as many worlds as they could. Though most of the worlds were lost to annihilation, over the years, many of the barriers were discovered with the help of placeholder discovered. You know what? Discovered and yeah, a place broke. Let me reword this because this is worded badly. Over the years, many of the barriers were discovered, and with the help of placeholder Elf 3, the horrors broke the barriers and allowing boom. Okay. Very few survived. Very few of these worlds. Okay, so we've got placeholder Elf Group 3. We already know they're jerks, right? Placeholder Group 3. Let's do placeholder Group 3. Let's say, okay, so these guys believe it's judgment. Okay, so let's see. Placeholder group three is we're gonna make them horrible. We're gonna kill them at any point we can, basically, um, in different ways. So nobody has to be worrying about Elven placeholder group three, right? Let's see. What are we gonna say? I know, right? We'll have to make up a name for them eventually, but yeah, dang you, placeholder group three, you're so mean. When they have a name, it'll be easier to hate them because you know placeholder, you know, it's awkward to hate them so much, but they are what they are. Okay, so they did sacrifices. I'm trying to think of what we would say. Over the years, they became twisted and driven more and more. Okay, so we know that placeholder elf group 3, they're going to be twisted, they're going to be dark, they're going to use magic. Okay, boom. Growing more and more powerful in the use of dark magic. So we don't like placeholder group 3. They betrayed placeholder group 2, wiping them almost out. Placeholder group 1 was totally wiped out. Oh, placeholder elf 4. These guys are gonna be noble, right? This is what we're gonna do. What do we do with them? I'm not really sure what to do with placeholder group 4. Are these elves gonna work with the humans? Or do they just work with everybody? So the elves are dark. We know that they're racist and they believe some stuff anyway. So what do we think about the elf kingdom for? Oh, boom. Okay, so these guys are going to be led by a high seers. Is seers not a word? Okay. Whoa. I didn't even know about this. Surveillance Epidemiology End Results Program is a program of the National Cancer Institute, blah, blah, blah. So that's not what I'm meaning. I'm meaning like a seer. You know what we'll do? We'll type in farseer. Okay. So seer. Yeah. Whatever. I'm saying it right. That I'm saying wrong though. Did that? Oh. Okay. High Seers Council. Okay. So we've got seers, right? Okay. We've got the High Seers and the most powerful of the Elven Mages in Elf Group 4, in which what we're going to say is. Okay. Led by the knowledge of the High Seers Council and many of the most powerful elven mages. They worked quickly to develop magic to ward off and protect the remaining worlds. Okay. I'm not. I'm not really sure if we're what to say. Erecting barriers. Let's say and erecting barriers. Okay. Okay. Boom. Okay, so we've got led by the knowledge of the High Seers Council and many of the most powerful elven mages, they worked quickly to develop magic to ward off and protect the remaining worlds. Some of these worlds wards hid entire planets and erected barriers saving as many planets as possible. Many of their planets fell over time, but some worlds managed to survive. So we're going to allow some of this group to survive. Obviously, these jerks right here in placeholder 3, they survived well. So they're the dominant amount of blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? So back to our humans. Space Vikings and stuff like that. So I gotta write up the Oh, it's 7 already. Holy crap! How did 2 hours just go like that, you guys? So we'll be working on this on Wednesday and Friday. I'm gonna change the thing because we finished that Harvard course thing. That was a super big disappointment, you guys. I thought it was gonna be more challenging, more information packed, but it wasn't. So what we ended up with is 11 pages of stuff in 2 hours. So let's just be honest. I don't think it's going to take us long to write this book, draft one. After we get the humans, what the humans did, humans are going to use technology. Let's just be honest. And for the most part, most of the human worlds aren't going to survive. Just as a fact. I'm going to bet right now these guys survived and survived. Boom. In space, what do you call like groups of ships? I'll figure out what to call the groups of ship. Yeah, well that's wrong. I'll just use hide their presence. Okay, so these guys we're establishing right off the bat that these guys have runes that can hide their presence from a horror or all others. So we've got our Vikings using space magic. They've got genetically modified Minotaur-like people. I like that. We're gonna give them other stuff too. They're gonna be cool. Faction X, they're gonna be scumbuckets too. In all honesty, we're probably gonna link them to. Oh, watch this. These guys are going to be a proxy of placeholder group 3. So this is how. So we know how these guys survived. They're scum too. So these guys are scum, placeholder group 3. So we've got humans and we've got elves that both aligned, right? And then we've got a whole bunch of other races and they just pretty much got wiped. So there's going to be lots of empty worlds. I think so far this went well. Guys, do you feel that this flowed pretty fast for like we're just making some stuff up out of our. Yeah, I do. Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna twitch right over to somebody. In all honesty, because we're at the time we're at, let's see what we're gonna do. Is Tune on? I haven't rated Tune for a second. Let's go to Tuniversal. We're gonna raid Tuniversal. I do want to thank you guys a ton for just hanging out and being freaking epic in every way. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. And in all honesty, next week we're going to knock out some stuff. I actually think we'll start throwing down an outline and writing something, which is real super exciting. Peace, very best wishes, and you guys just have an epic weekend.